Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been a long time and I just figured that I would jump back in right where we are, ending our fourth homeschool year. So I will give you some quick little updates as far as where I have been. This year has really took me for a whirlwind. It was harder than all of my previous years. And it could have been going into high school for my first time and so early in the game. Not to call homeschooling a game, but you know what I mean. So also, if you hear my kids yelling, they're currently on their game time. So I apologize for that in advance. Life with boys. So yeah, this year really took me for a whirlwind, and I have been dealing with stuff, and I have never shared any of this on my channel before, but I have even though people say, oh, it's really nothing, I have iron deficiency / anemia, whatever you want to call it, and having to always take iron, or forgetting to take iron, or taking iron, a different iron that's not working, and blah, 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 blah. It's been a big one. And I was realizing this year that as my levels got lower and lower, my energy to get out the bed was worse. So, not going to spend a long time on that topic, but I am in the presently, finally got an appointment to see a hematologist. Besides that, the stress of unmotivated teenagers really hit me, and my kids are like really getting comfortable being in the house, just like, oh, well, I'll move when I want to, and I'll do this when I want to. And that really took me for a whirlwind this year. So much that I had to get to the point where I had to be like, okay, do you guys still want to be homeschooled? What do you want to do? Where do you think you're going in your homeschool? If you want to call it a career, where are you going? Are you continuing with me? Are you thinking about going back possibly into a public school system? So we have had all these conversations. With that in mind, outside things, I am coming out with a video. It's probably going to be my next one, the pros and cons of homeschool co-ops. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you don't want to miss it. So yeah, outside things, we do enjoy our homeschool groups. As we're ending the year, one of the groups where we go for fine arts has been a blessing for my kids, so much that they're auditioning to do summer drama. I feel like both of our groups are a blessing, but what I failed in doing is letting them become priority over what I do in my homeschool. Yeah, that was not a good deal. So anyway, I have a stack of books here. I'm just going to pull them out one by one, and I'm going to talk about how they served this year, whether they served this year good or not. For those of you who have been around here for a long time, if you would like to support me in any way, I would love for you to go back and watch my videos so I can get some of my watch hours up. I thank you and welcome the new subscribers that are here, and hope that you enjoy being a part of this community as we move forward. Okay, let's talk about Apologia. Apologia. I have done a review on Apologia before, and it was for general science. And I will link the yes or no video here. If I can remember the exact title of it, I will grab it and put it here for you. One thing I do like about Apologia, I do like that it is rigorous and it gives you the information. Things that you usually get when you use Apologia, and this is what I was using for my 8th grader, or what I changed to. I changed from biology, which is yeah, nice and big. This was intense. It was a big transition for my 8th grader to go into 9th grade and see the books and be like, wow, do I have to do all that work? It was kind of intimidating. And still up to now, he does not like to read. So in slowing down and giving him smaller chunks, he still was unmotivated to do the work, but always motivated to do the work that he likes to do. And, you know, I'm just trying to get it across to my kids, like, even when you're in college, you do choose classes, but even if you choose a class and you get in class on first day and you hate it, yeah, you have a couple of days to withdraw, whatever, but the reality is, if you're in that class, or if it's a required class for your degree and you don't like it, you still have to keep going. It's a part of life. It's what we have to do, right? Okay. Yes, homeschool can be self-interest. Yes. Stuff that's like a general requirement, you don't really have too many options. So this was something that, yeah, I had to deal with. So we had to slow down because I spent my money on this book. My 9th grader will be using this book next year for biology, but he will not be using the student book. I feel like they set it up and for you to take all these notes and write down all these definitions and do all this stuff, yes, which is what you should do. But then I feel like when you pull out the test, or the mom is looking at the test, I'm like, why did he do this study guide if the study guide doesn't have at least 60% of what's on the test? I don't know if that's just me or whatever, but I feel like maybe that's what was aggravating to me last time when I used general science and I didn't really pick it up. But I feel like the student workbooks are not really working for us. So as he continues this next year, and my 9th grader starts this next year, I'm going to get the audio to this as well. And then we will be notebooking through biology because that has worked for us this year. As far as notebooking and putting in things that you really like, that worked. So I'm going to continue in that way and dig more into that way. And if you guys would like to see inside their notebooking, if you would like to see inside their notebooking, just let me know and I will make a short or drop it in the community tab, some pictures, so you can see what that exactly looks like. Side note, as I go forward, I will be sharing more stuff and making more digital things for you guys to have as freebies or paid, either or. But I do have some of that coming down the way. As far as really getting your house in order and not letting, you know, home and everything consume your mind so much that you cannot function as a mom. Right? Right. Next thing I'm grabbing is Not Consumed. These are the small, you know, like family devotionals that you can do with your kids. And when you get these, you can do, it was 2 age groups, or she's actually doing 3 now. So it's like you can, a younger age, and then like mid-age, and then like teen for older kids. And in each book, they get a little bit harder. Basically, just like the child has more to write as they get older. There's bookmarks that you get, there's stickers that you get, and there's also things that have scriptures on them for memory. I have loved Not Consumed. I don't know what next year looks like yet, and I know everybody gets so curriculum happy during like March, April, but I'm a late bee because, number one, we are involved in homeschool groups, so sometimes I don't even know what they're using. Even when it comes to our homeschool groups, as far as academics, I am keeping that to probably 3 or 4 classes this year. More like 3. I really want to stay within it because I still want to be able to be free for them to learn the way they want to learn in our homeschool. I don't want it to feel like everything we do every day is just to please or to fulfill something, you know, that outside people want that necessarily I might not want as their teacher. So, okay. Pulling the next thing, read alouds. Read alouds this year, I can tell you right now, we didn't read that much. We read a lot of picture books. And when I say reading, let me rephrase that, because we did read, but we didn't do like storybooks. And this is something that if any of you other African American moms out there could feel like you feel pressured to teach so much Black history because there is none in your curriculum, breathe with me. Because I, at a certain point, felt so like, oh, I have to incorporate all this stuff that shows, you know, Black successful men and women. And yes, it is important, but I think I let it overconsume that I didn't read anything else. So we were reading a lot of things, like we are currently reading this, and reading, you know, different views of history along with while they were doing their other stuff. For history, because this went along with history, so I'll go right into history. This book, by the way, we are enjoying it. We are about that much way through. We'll be finished with it by the end of the school year. There was a little part in the beginning where it was kind of like, I kind of felt like they were trying to make it feel like our experience was comparing it to make it feel like it's okay. But as we went along in the book, I was kind of like, okay, I understand. Because I'm always funny about the way they word things to try to like butter over it. So but it's good. It's a good book. Going into history, I started with Knotgrass history. I don't even have the book here. Knotgrass history, exploring America. And like I said, that was another, we hit the wall. It doesn't say the curriculum works. I will probably be using that with my younger one later on. I'm not getting rid of it because I feel like it is a good curriculum. For me, it's like buy the textbook, plan the curriculum, what they're going to do, and then use that as a big resource as your spine. And that has worked for me more than just following along. So when we started Knotgrass, it was working and going, and then it was like, it's a lot of reading. I don't want to do this. And so I'm working through that with the gist of like, I wish I saw that he didn't really like reading earlier on when we started homeschooling, but hey, things happen and challenges come up, and you just have to kind of learn how to roll with them when you're new to homeschooling. Because my older one is using Khan Academy, and that is going well. And I love that Khan Academy gives you the whole proficient, mastered, all of that right there on Khan Academy. So I don't have to worry about what it looks like. For my younger one, we were using Everything You Need to Know About World History. Kind of preparing him. He's doing world and American, like some specific topics. We're not really doing the whole entire book. Because they have used some of the chapters in those books before, so we really didn't need to do everything. So that is that. My younger one won't be referenced. The one that's in 5th grade won't be, and I use grades because it's easier to reference where my kids are about versus me saying their name every time I talk about them. Okay, so my 5th grader, which he is in a classical conversations group where most of their work is through memory, and then they do grammar and writing. So for those subjects right now, you know, like the other subjects that are not grammar and writing, he is just doing memory, and that's been working. And I just find other things online that helps him dig deeper into those topics. If you guys would like for me next year to really show more of what I do for him with classical conversations, let me know. Yeah, and I will share more of it, because I usually don't, even when I'm doing prep. Let me know if you guys would like to see the prep and the planning that I do, especially using a textbook and not, you know, using the other things that accompany the textbook. Pause, because my voice feels like it's about to fall out. So I talked about history. Let me talk about math real quick. CTC math. This is what we were using. I tried to do a review for you guys, but when I open up the thing, I cannot show inside without showing my son's names and everything. Yeah, inside. And then I try to sign up for a free account, and the free account doesn't let you see everything. When it comes to CTC math, this is my short review for those who are interested in it. As far as kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, for me, awesome. When you go into pre-algebra, I feel like my kids need a little bit more. So my older two will not be continuing CTC next year, only because even the aspect of like CTC math, you have videos, it keeps track of everything, and you can print out worksheets. The only thing I don't like about printing out the worksheets is that the worksheets has the answers on them. So it's like, okay, even if you're working out a math problem and you don't fully get the whole answer, but this looks like the answer, oh, let me choose this one. Like, I feel like it opens up the door to like, you're not really doing all the work. So when it comes to my older two, that will be in 9th and 10th grade next year, I will be changing their math. I am looking into what things I will be choosing for them. My younger one, he's already done his 5th grade math, so he will start 6th grade and then do 7th grade and then go right into pre-algebra with something else. So that we are not changing because, like I said, I do like CTC math. It's straight into the point. I love the fact that it covers all areas of math, and it adds onto it as it goes. So it's spiral, but yet mastery, because they, you can go back and continue a lesson and master it. So when they started CTC, I would let them go a few, like 10 weeks. And then, I started like spiraling it myself to master it. So like, oh, when you're on this week, go back and start mastering week 1, kind of doubling up on math a little bit during, the later time. So they go in and do 2 or 3 lessons, and they go and master 1 lesson. That's kind of how the rhythm that we have. Depending on what my child was doing at a certain time, really matter how many lessons he could cover in a day. But I do like CTC math, especially for the younger ones, because it does cover the geometry elements and statistics and probability and all that stuff. And even when we first started, there was something that we got stuck on that I was kind of like, wow, like really? Y'all never learned this? So it was very good, because I feel like overall it gives you a good rounded all about math type things. Okay, so that is that. Math. When it comes to grammar, let me take off this post-it. This is their work. When it comes to grammar, we are going to do this over next year, and probably up until their senior year. This will kind of either turn their classes into honor classes, or just as an extra that I put on there as like they did this, and this worked towards their credit too. So, you know, saying in high school you have to have between 120 to 180 hours for your credit. So even if they're not spending a certain amount of time in this one topic, like English, which not English, but literature and a reading, that if I add this on, it would make time. They will also be doing something else. I kind of quit doing spelling and vocabulary. So for next year, even in my high schoolers, they will be doing some type of spelling and vocabulary. So that will be coming down the pipeline. As I am going on, I am still planning, and because I like to take my time, and I really need to know that I am serving them well, and not just, oh, let's just jump to this next subject because this is the subject that you're supposed to get. No, whatever my child needs, that's what his subject is going to be for whatever grade he's in. Okay. So if you have not seen this video, I do have it. I will link it. I like this. Do I wish it took less time? Yes, but going into next year, I will be teaching this family style, so it might not take as long. I also bought these school nest planners. I really like this for myself. I really don't know what I'm going to do with these, but excuse me. I really don't know what I'm going to do with these. They wrote in them a little bit, but This was more so for like, for me, they're not really with the planners yet. I usually just give them a weekly planning sheet that I make out for them, instead of, it kind of cuts down on the time of me having to say, okay, Monday you're supposed to do this, Tuesday you're supposed to do this. Now, if the curriculum comes already laid out, I don't really have to do that. They kind of just go to the next thing. But for those things that I had to give to them, I'd rather just say, here's your sheet for the week. This is what I need you to do. I know it's like, yeah, you need to have a planner. That's some goal I will set sometime soon, that you start learning how to plan out your own stuff. They're just not there yet. I'm going to talk about writing. Right now, we're going to talk about Christian-like education. Christian-like education is beautiful. I do have a flip through, or I do have a look inside, talk about coming out for reading. I was very shocked and surprised. Sorry, my throat is like... I was very shocked and surprised that Christian-like education was not playing. You understand what I'm saying? Christian-like education was not playing. Not playing. All right. So this is 8, reading 8, and this is reading 5. Me and my little 5th grader, we are now finishing up 502. So this is something that I'm going to push to get us done by mid-June. The other 3 books, not rushing it, because honestly, even if we don't finish, I will just pick up next year and just move right along. I am still debating whether I'm going to get reading 6 for him, or whether I'm going to just pick like a book series and we're going to learn through that. His for English. So I'm still seeing. We'll see. Reading 8. I was like, oh, I'm going to get this, and it's just something because he needs to have a reading, or like a literature thing. Wow, was I blown away. Like, they cover so many literary terms in this 8th grade reading, and each book is different. And then they have, this is the continuation of it on this page. And I'm not going to show you too much because I do have a video that I'm putting out about that, but they talk about critical thinking terms, fallacies. Like, this was Christian-like education. You did your thing. You did your thing. And honestly, if we were not going into grammar and writing with well-trained mind and IEW next year, I would have kept him in Christian-like language arts. But because most of the stuff will be covered in his other stuff, I'm not doing this. But again, this was so good. There's one book that just goes over a research paper. This is where we got to. I think we're on 504. I took it kind of slow. With the gist of knowing, because I'm still going to use the books. I'm just going to like probably do it like one day a week, and I might pick out some things. It's a thing. A feeling that I have, like, I'm still going to use this book because I feel like some of these things that they cover in the language arts is not covered in grammar and writing, if that's what I'm trying to say. I know you guys are like, whatever, trying to figure out what I'm saying, but that's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes, even with having a separate grammar and writing, it's not covering all the things. This is a great price, so if I did want to still purchase this, I probably could and use what I wanted to use out of it. That's not covered. And next, Apologia again. But this is health, and we are using this until they're finished. Like I said, we are up to chapter 4, and I think that's where we're going to finish for this year, because I'm trying to just get their health and phys ed credit. So even though it's probably not going to be spread out on that thing, but with health next year, I am adding on some books that I do want them to read. So it will be this and their health. Honestly, for this, for Apologia, the student notebook, I actually like the student notebook for this because it goes into a lot of things, and they have projects that they have to do and stuff like that. This is kind of what it looks like. And I do plan to come out with videos while we look inside all of these books, because I don't want to not do it. Even though I know some people have them videos out there already, I'm still going to do a flip through. So IEW, this is the last subject I believe we're talking about. IEW has served our home well, and has not. It took us about 2 years to finish this one book, and that's because we're not doing it every day, because you have to write another subject. So I felt like that was hard, and with that, what I did, I just bought the teacher's binder for style and structure, and I am currently going through that. So next year, as far as IEW is concerned, my 5th grader will have a book, because it's a part of his CC group. But my older ones, I will just be using the teacher's manual to teach them and include it in their other subjects, not necessarily having a separate binder that we're doing. I'm just going to incorporate it into their other subjects. And after I finish the course, I will let you know, whether or not I think it was worth it or not. So that is all the subject. Coming soon, guys. Do not forget to subscribe. Yes, I am back. Yes, I still feel exhausted and tired, but I'm back because I figured if I wait too long, you guys would think that I just fell off the face of the earth, and I didn't want to have this channel. So I'm back, and yeah, we are trucking away over here, still here in the game. Going back to my line, guys, do what serves your home. And that's it. I'm out, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. So, could somebody turn off the oven?